Tackle Ethan Driscoll. Who's one to lead off? Lead off Luke.
Ethan, get a couple days rest. How beneficial is that heading into Coastal Carolina? Obviously, a team that is another talented team in the Sun Belt.
Yeah, obviously we have another big week this week. Playing Coastal is never an easy task. We've been on a little 3-game stretch of just back-to-back great teams, and so I think it allows us to heal some guys up and get some guys back for this game.
Ethan, whether you get Rasheen back this weekend or not, with what Ethan was doing and you guys on the front lines, how important is it to you to keep the ball and get some good long possessions and sustain some drives?
Well, sustaining drives is always important, keeping the defense, allowing them to get some rest on the side, and but we got to put points up, and that's the biggest thing. Last game we didn't do very well at that, but this week we got to do better. And I mean, obviously guys like Rasheen, they help do that, and so we got to take care of that this week.
What does Coastal do when you look at them on film that stands out to you?
They have a really good front seven, pretty fast, athletic D-line, hard-hitting linebackers. I mean, just from what I've seen this, it's Tuesday, so just from what I've seen so far, I think they're really talented up front. I think we have a pretty good matchup this week.
Ethan, as Coach Huff said, you're going to West Virginia South. Probably going to expect
Yeah.
a pretty big Marshall crowd down there.
For
Is
sure.
that going to help you guys?
I mean, Marshall fans travel very well. It's like the bowl game last year when we went down there. They're there, they're loud, and they're passionate. So I think it'll be a good environment, and Coastal has a good fan base, so I think it'll be a fun game.
When you look at the offense, it's not like you all haven't been moving the ball. It's just been, capping those drives. How do you get kind of over that proverbial hump, and just how close are you guys to doing that?
We've been very close. I mean, most of the time, if we do end the drive, it's because of self-inflicted wounds, pre-snap penalties throughout the drive, and sometimes it's missed assignments, whatever it may be. So we just got to eliminate those and allow our playmakers to make plays and just do our job up front.
Any further questions? Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Tristan. All right. Next up, Jaden Harrison.
I'll start you off with an easy one. What do you like playing more, special teams or wide receiver?
I like playing ball, really. I always like being on the field.
Obviously you've been utilized in both. Just how have you seen your role grow? From last year to this year. Obviously, taking some increased reps there.
Coach I've always say, stay ready and prepare like you're a starter. So when your time comes, you always be ready. So when I got the opportunity, I was always ready, and I was going to execute and not let my team down.
Jaden, we talked to you after the game a little bit about that run back. Now that you've had a chance to see it on film and stuff, was that a pretty fun film session for you?
Yeah, it was fun to see the guys keep blocks, and they will to allow me to get open and score.
Jaden, offensively, you guys have scored points at times, NC State, and certainly you've scored plenty enough over the past several games. What do you got to do to cash in on those opportunities?
Consistently execute, consistently do your job. Coach says if everybody do their job, then we'll be successful. So concentrate on, individually we have to concentrate on our assignment.
Any further questions? Thanks, Toby. This is a seniority number 3, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, defensive end Sam Burton.
Sam, I know you guys know that their quarterback went down this past week, not sure whether he's going to play or not. Does that change your mindset going into this? Obviously, they've got backups, but he was pretty talented and put 21 on you guys up here pretty quick last year.
Yeah, we always got to prepare for the starter who we've been seeing on film. So that's who we're preparing for. And I mean, whoever plays, we just got to play how we normally play.
Quarterback or not, what do they do, that's going to challenge you this week?
Well, they run some inside zone, some zone RPO. They do a little bit of that triple option stuff that they did last year. So if we get hit with that, we just got to stay disciplined with our assignments and have a man for a man.
Does it kind of help that you guys had a longer week this week to kind of rest up before you head down there?
Yeah, for sure. Those extra days are always beneficial. You know, guys are banged up, and any extra time to get some extra rest and extra film in helps for sure.
Going back to a place that you guys didn't play against Coastal there last year, but had some good memories from there at Brooks Stadium. How do you capitalize on your experience down there and just facing another good Coastal team?
Well, we just got to treat it like another road game. You know, we've been on the road for the past couple weeks, so we just got to take ourselves. You know, it's a away game, so there's not going to be as many Marshall fans. So we just got to do what we got to do in a hostile environment.
They've rotated 4 running backs, not any one of them that's the guy. What do you notice about those guys? Is there any one that does stand out to you?
They all run pretty hard. Number 1, number 4, number 3, they're all pretty good backs. So we just got to contain them, hit them, and have an impact on that.
I mentioned the stretch of road games. You're going to go through the whole month of October and not play a Saturday game at home. Obviously, had the Thursday. How tough is it to play on the road in successive weeks like that?
You just got to prepare for it. Just travel the right way with the right mentality and just execute. We're just going to a different stadium, different place. So that's how I see it.
Anything further for Sam? Thanks, Sam.
Appreciate
it. All right, so full disclosure, the last time this guy was in here, I caught him out in the hallway and was like, hey.
Yeah.
So good to see him again.
Good to
Tight
see
end
you.
Kate Conley.
How good did it feel, to get back out there last week? I know you missed a couple games.
It felt great. You never want to be on the sideline watching your team go out and play, especially, against teams that we played against. So, it was nice finally being back out there.
So what's your early look at Coastal? What do they do that's going to challenge you this week?
They play extremely hard. That's the first thing that jumped out to me on film. They got a lot of guys that can make plays, so we just got to be able to keep our blocks going and make plays for our O-line, who's got to play better as long as, we make plays.
Hey, when you look at what you guys are doing offensively, Cam was a little banged up last week. How imperative is it for all of you on offense to help him along the way if and when you go to those spots where he's not feeling 100%?
Yeah. Well, it starts with us, I think, as a tight end group. We got to be able to do anything and everything that, we need to do, whether that's stretch the field and play a little receiver and catch the ball, or start banging our heads with the front 7. So I think we just got to play within ourselves. Coach Huff told us we got to just play good. Everybody play good, and that's when we're great. So, we just got to stay disciplined with our game plan.
These last 3 losses have come to good teams. Power 5, and then 2 teams that have a combined 1 loss. How important is it to not overreact to what's happened the past few weeks and know that a lot of those goals are still ahead of you?
We just got to embrace adversity. I think every team goes through a little stunt like this in the year, whether it's what we have a 3-game losing streak or that's a 1 game. So we just got to face it, and I think we'll be good. We just got to have a great week of practice and go with a business-like mentality to Coastal and get the job done and get home.
Anything further for Kate?
Appreciate you.
Thanks, Kate. Number 14, Stephen Diggs. Who wants to lead off one? Lead off Luke.
Obviously you get a chance to get in there and get the start Saturday. What was that like for you, and just how have you seen your use grow since you got here at Marshall?
I think it's always good to go out there for a game against a really good opponent and be trusted to start. Obviously we had some guys banged up at linebacker, just some guys that had to step in. And, I've been proving to them since I've got here in June that, I'm trustworthy. You can put me out there if you need me. I'll do my job. Doing that consistently week in and week out, coaches have noticed, and then, they can put me in and trust me. So it just felt good being out there and just being helpful any way that I can for my team and just trying to, build off and contribute to the standard of Marshall football.
Stephen, whether Grayson plays or not, their offense, they were pretty explosive last year up here. They scored 3 quick ones. But does that change your mindset going into all week, or do you just assume he's going to be the starter and also prepare for the other 2 guys as well?
We just prepare as if, it's a national championship, honestly. I don't really know too much about Grayson McCall. Obviously, it's like my first time playing against him, but, I've seen him, and I think he is a good athlete. And, if he does play, then we have to be prepared, just listening from the other guys that have experience playing against him. And, but it doesn't really matter who's back there, who's starting. We're going to prepare as if this is our last game plan and if this is, everything's on the line. So our preparation is going to be at an all-time high regardless of who the opponent is and who's back there.
You guys on a 3-game skid now. Just what's kind of the, I guess, message to your specific room and the team as a whole right now? And how much are you trying to just turn the page and focus on the rest of the season?
Yeah, I've been in this predicament before, my previous institution with a 3-game losing streak. And honestly, with the team that we have here, there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to build off of it and, respond back. So I'm not too concerned. I know that we have a great team. We have great leadership. And we're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to prepare. We're going to continue to be ourselves and do what we do best, which is get back to work, regardless of what the outcome may be, win or loss. So there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to come back this week and take the next step, and we're going to keep moving from there.
When you look around the linebacker room, there's no shortage of leadership. How about this guy sitting in the back of the room, Eli, and how he's kind of helped you, since you got here in June?
Oh, man, Eli's been a great leader and a great teammate and a great friend. He really has stepped up, and he's just shown me, the ways of, like, what it means to be the Mike linebacker, like how he is, more than just playing on the field, but actually being a leader. So there's a lot that he's shown me that has helped me be ready to step in and fulfill that role on JMU game when we had played. So, I think he's been a great leader and just a great, friend overall, man, and a great teammate.
Any further questions?
All right, no problem.
All right, next up, we've got Deani Hill, career high in tackles, and I think he had set that career high in the first quarter and a half, if I'm not mistaken, last week. I looked up and he was at 8 or 9 pretty early. So, questions for Deani?
Obviously your use has increased, as the season has progressed. Just how are you embracing that? And have you seen that, kind of pay off, all the preparation and all the hard work that goes into it?
Day by day, I continue to work, whether I'm starting, backup, or whatever, and I really feel like with my role, it is to step up and make it harder for the ball to be thrown on either side. So with that being said, I just felt like my role would continue to improve, and by game, I'll be getting better.
Deani, Coach was complimentary of your guys' effort on defense last week, that he thought you guys were getting back to what you need to be. Did you feel that after a few games of giving up 40 points or so?
Yes, sir, definitely. I mean, our coach always tell us no matter how hard like the other team played, the game is always on us. With the DB room, it's like, hey, if the team can't run the ball or get the shots, how else can the team win? So really, it's just about knowing your role, playing your role, and don't outplay your role.
Kind of what Luke was talking about, your usage has increased. What do you attribute that to? Where do you think you've grown most in your game since June?
Really, I'm a man cornerback, so I really like putting my hands on wide receivers. So I really feel like with that, we're able to play more man and just leave us on the island and win our one-on-one matchups. So if you are who you say you are, go out and show it and prove it.
Coach kind of talked about the shift in practice to where, some of the twos maybe have more reps than the ones because of the early bye week and that shift in mentality. Has that helped you kind of get more comfortable in the defense?
Yeah, definitely, because mental reps matter most, So with that being said, like our DB room, we got a lot of talent in our DB room. So even with our backups, they got to be ready to play at any time, any moment, not knowing like the circumstances, what could happen within the game. So I really look at it as like I'm looking at the tools or the ones, be able to take mental reps on and off the field.
Any more questions for Deani Hill?
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all.
Thanks, man. Linebacker Eli Neil.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
I gave Steven a chance to brag on you. How about bragging on him?
I mean, Steve is everything you've seen. Somebody that came in and just did it exactly by the book. You know, somebody that's just been a sponge since he got here. Like, he just want to learn. He wants to get better. And a true selfless guy. Like, he just wants to be able to help the team contribute in any way, whether that's special teams, punt, kickoff, coming in and playing Mike when guys that went down and we got guys banged up in the room. And I feel like he's just stepped into his role exactly how Coach Huff planned him to be able to come in and just be the Steven Dix that we were expecting him to be.
Eli, along that injury front word on McCall, you don't know whether he's going to go or not. You guys obviously saw him last year. He's talented. He scored some quick points on you. What's your mindset going into film work this week and practice about whether he plays?
You got to prepare like he's playing. Obviously, you can't turn a blind eye to somebody that's been like the poster child for the Sun Belt the last 3 years. So we definitely preparing like he's playing. Whether or not we know that this offense can be explosive, whether he's playing or not, they got a bunch of different guys that can make plays at the receiver position, at running back, and got some key guys. So we definitely got our work cut out for us this week. But, I mean, attacking practice the same way is no different coming off these last 3 games. I mean, it's hard not to beat yourself up when you have high standards, but we got to know it's a fine line in between, you know, overdoing it. So just got to get back to work this week, make sure we attack the week the right way.
New coaching staff, how similar or how different is the offense from what they ran last year? They still have some of that triple option stuff. And how the idea of that is to keep you from being real aggressive. You're having to stop and read everything. How do you attack that part of it?
And exactly what you said, the triple option part is definitely just there to make you think, make fast defenses like we are slow down just for that split second, and they have good athletes that can utilize that time. So the way we attack that is just by being in the right place at the right time, everybody doing their job. As long as we go out there and we don't have too many guys trying to be the hero and everybody be able to play team ball, I feel like we'll be able to keep the ball corralled.
Eli, Coach Huff said that against JMU, when he went back and watched the film, it felt like the defense finally got back to, you know, what this defense is. Is that what you feel too?
In a sense, I never want to take too much credit for a loss. I mean, at the end of the day, as good as it may seem, it wasn't enough. So that's our main focus this week, is being able to make it enough this week to come out with a win.
Yeah. After you leave the Georgia State game, obviously you played in a limited role here last Thursday. How important was it for you to get back out there on the field and to help the team out?
It's everything to me. I mean, I know it may seem like cliche, but I genuinely love what I do and the people that I do it with. You know, it makes it way easier to try to fight through different things and adversity when you know it's guys that you've bled and sweat with and cried with out there depending on you, you know. And I live for those moments. I live for the moments when someone thought you couldn't and you did. I live for the moments when, you know, the pressure's on. That's when I feel like I play my best and I'm at my best. So that was big for me to be able to step up and try to help my team come out with a win. I mean, we didn't, but I feel like moving forward, it's a great stepping stone for the rest of the year.
Anything further for Eli?
Good.
Thank you, Eli.
I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it, babe. Next up, cornerback Mike Abraham.
Defensively, big rebound going into, you know, coming off of giving up 40-plus for a couple straight weeks into JMU. What was the difference? Was it just execution? Was it mentality?
It was just we were struggling for a little bit, and we came back another game, and we just found our identity kind of going through this game. And it was just a new week, and the defense did what they were supposed to been doing for the past 3 weeks.
How hard was that to do, Micah, with as many banged-up people as you had? You had a lot of guys playing and shifting people in and out, but you guys kind of rose to the occasion.
Yeah, I mean, it's never the best when you have people out with whatever it is that they have going on, but at the same time, it's the next man up mentality. So if you're the next man up, there should be no drop off between the starter.
Pinckney, 15, their wide receiver, like 6'4", 220. What kind of challenges does he throw out there at you?
I know him from last year. We played him last year, so it's obviously know it's going to be a good challenge this week. And if we just prepare ourselves how we should throughout practice, and we should be good for the game.
Michael, whether he plays or not, McCall, what'd you guys do adjustment-wise last year when I think you scored 21 in the first quarter? Then you figured it out. Was it just that scheme that takes a little while to adjust to?
Yeah, I mean, when you have a team who does triple options and stuff like that, it's kind of you can do as much preparing as you want to throughout practice, but it's kind of hard to get the real speed and the flow when the actual game comes around. So, I mean, they came out and they were just doing their triple option stuff, and we just had to kind of like settle in and go to the sideline and just keep writing down what they were doing and changing what we needed to, and then we eventually got it down.
Obviously the last 3 games, losses to tough teams, NC State and then, 2 of the top teams in the Sun Belt. How do you make sure you don't overreact as a team to that and realize that the goals that you had at the beginning of the season are still out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's never fun to lose. We don't want to lose. We don't prepare to lose. We have a high standard here, but we just got to keep going and just keep getting through it and just try to go 1-0 every week.
Everybody good?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Michael.